Hour 3. The screaming stops, but the pirates keep forcing them to walk on feet that end in bone fragments and tendon. The merchant crew watching knows they're next, knows they'll also have to walk. This happened on over 200 ships, and when survivors reached port, when they told their stories, they always started with, "The foot torture wasn't even the worst part." In this video, you'll discover 17 torture methods that real pirates used on captured sailors, methods so brutal that naval records were sealed for decades to prevent public panic. You'll learn why pirates chose psychological torture over quick death, how they turned human bodies into warnings, and which method was so effective it made entire crews surrender without firing a shot. But the most disturbing part isn't the physical damage, it's why they did it. And I warn you, once you understand the logic behind these horrors, you'll never see pirate history the same way. The Golden Age of Piracy, roughly 1650 to 1730, wasn't the romantic adventure Hollywood sold you. Not freedom fighters, organized criminals. It was 80 years of maritime terrorism, where 5,000 known pirates terrorized the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Indian Ocean trade routes. These weren't misunderstood rebels. They were organized criminals running protection rackets on water. But here's what made pirates different from other criminals. They couldn't rely on reputation alone. A land-based gang could build fear through word of mouth in a single city. Pirates operated across oceans. Their victims changed constantly. Merchant crews had never seen them before, had no reason to surrender. So pirates invented something revolutionary: terror as currency. They developed torture methods so horrifying, so widely documented, that sailors would rather jump overboard than be taken alive. And it only took one encounter to convert a sailor into a true believer. Ship captains kept logs describing what pirates did to previous crews. These logs circulated through every port. By 1720, a pirate flag on the horizon triggered immediate surrender in 60% of encounters. The other 40%? Most wished they'd surrendered. Why? One pirate captain turned terror into an art form because of men like Edward Lowe. In July 1722, Lowe captured a Portuguese ship off the coast of Brazil. The captain had thrown 11,000 gold moidores overboard rather than let pirates take them. Lowe's response entered maritime legend. He cut off the captain's lips, broiled them in front of him, then forced the entire crew to watch as he made the captain eat his own cooked flesh. The captain died from shock before Lowe finished. Lowe killed the remaining 42 crew members anyway, one by one, over 17 hours and 40 minutes, according to the deposition of survivor João Fernandes. He wanted witnesses. 3 sailors escaped. Witnesses. They told everyone. Within 6 months, Portuguese captains surrendered to Lowe without resistance. His flag alone was enough. That's the first method. Not punishment, entertainment, mutilation as message. But what happened next changed everything, because pirates realized something crucial. Dead men can't spread fear. Traumatized survivors can. Not to kill, to destroy. So they perfected torture methods designed not to kill, but to destroy. To create walking testimonials to what happened when you resisted. Sailors singing shanties on voyage out. Sailors screaming on voyage back. Method 2. Sweating. Crews resorted to forcing captives below deck, closing all hatches and lighting fires. Then they'd run around the deck in a circle. The hold temperature reached 142 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause protein denaturation in human tissue within 90 minutes. Captives would cook slowly, developing burns, dehydration, organ failure. Pirates kept them down there for hours, the blue Caribbean paradise becoming the red Caribbean nightmare. When they finally opened the hatches, survivors were pulled up one by one, skin sloughing off, eyes boiled completely, eyes boiled in their sockets, barely conscious. Then pirates would revive them with water and vinegar. Why? So they could tell others what sweating felt like. The shipboard atmosphere shifted from routine to horror the moment those hatches opened and the smell hit the upper deck. Method 3. Woolding. Pirates wrapped thin cord around a captive's forehead, then inserted a stick through the cord and twisted. Slowly. The cord would tighten, cutting into skin, then flesh, then bone. The victim's skull would gradually compress, eyes would bulge from the pressure, blood vessels would burst. The pain was described in one 1724 naval report as beyond description, as if the soul itself was being squeezed from the body. They'd stop just before death, let the victim recover for an hour, then repeat the cycle, again and again. Method 4. Keelhauling, but not the way you think. Traditional keelhauling meant dragging someone under the ship's keel. Pirates modified it. Not resistance, submission training. They'd tie a captive to a rope, throw them overboard, but not pull them under. They'd drag them alongside the ship at full sail. The barnacles covering the hull would act like razors. Flesh would peel away in strips. Pirates called it shaving a man. They'd pull the victim up after 50 yards, let them see their exposed muscle and bone, then throw them back in and drag them another 50 yards. The salt water prevented bleeding out. Victims could survive 10 passes before shock killed them. You're the sailor, underwater. You feel the rope jerk. Your body slams against the hull. The barnacles catch your shoulder first, then your ribs. You don't even realize you're screaming because your mouth fills with seawater. When they pull up, you see red water streaming off your body, but you're still conscious, which means they're throwing you back in. Method 5. The wooden horse. Not a real horse, a wooden beam set on edge, sharp side up. Victims were forced to straddle it naked. Then pirates would hang weights from their ankles, sometimes 20 pounds, sometimes 50. Gravity did the work. The beam would slowly cut upward through the perineum. Victims couldn't faint. The pain was too intense. It activated every nerve pathway. They'd leave men on the horse for 4, 6, 8 hours. The longest documented wooden horse torture, 14 hours, recorded in the 1721 trial of pirate John Rackham, resulted in a 4-inch vertical laceration. When they cut the victim down, he couldn't walk for 6 weeks. He never stopped. He never stopped screaming. 14 documented cases across the Caribbean used this exact method. Method 6, burning matches between fingers. Simple, cheap, but devastatingly effective. Standard procedure was inserting slow-burning fuses between each finger and toe. The fuses burned at exactly the speed that maximized pain without causing immediate death. As the flesh cooked, it would contract, pulling the skin tight, exposing nerve endings. The smell was distinctive. Other captives could smell it throughout the ship. The ship-wide psychological impact was immediate. By the time the fuses burned down to the bone, victims would have confessed to anything. But pirates rarely wanted confessions. They wanted the other sailors to smell that stench and remember it forever. Stop. Breathe. We're 6 methods in, and you're already numb to it. That's exactly what pirates wanted. Normalization of horror. Because when you're numb, you can't fight back effectively. But what happened next changed everything, because pirates realized something crucial. Dead men can't spread fear. Traumatized survivors can. Not to kill, to destroy.
So they perfected torture methods designed not to kill, but to destroy, to create walking testimonials to what happened when you resisted. Sailors singing shanties on voyage out, sailors screaming on voyage back. Method 7. Mock execution. Pirates would stage elaborate preparations to hang a captive, build the gallows, tie the noose, read fake last rites, place the noose around the victim's neck, then stop, cut them down, wait an hour, do it again. Some victims endured this 12 times in a single day. The record was held by a Dutch merchant named Peter Vandermeer, 19 mock executions over 31 hours. The psychological damage was permanent. When Captain Charles Johnson interviewed survivors in 1724, multiple men.
From the pirates' perspective, this is just business, efficient business. Spend 6 hours torturing one crew, save 6 weeks hunting other ships. The math is simple. The investment in terror pays dividends across every encounter. One traumatized survivor is worth 100 battles you never have to fight. Now, you might be wondering, how could this happen? How could human beings systematically develop and refine torture methods? How did it become normal? The answer is more disturbing than you can imagine. Because pirates documented their methods, they kept manuals, passed down techniques, improved on previous designs, not spontaneous cruelty, engineered terror. Engineered. Wait, you think you've seen the worst? Methods 1 through 12 were just a warm-up. What comes next required a level of creativity that suggests pirates weren't just violent, they were innovators of suffering. Method 13, the piquet. A sailor would be forced to stand on tiptoe with a wooden spike under one heel. Not sharp, deliberately dull. The spike was dull, not sharp enough to pierce the foot quickly. The victim had to balance on the other foot. When that leg gave out from exhaustion, they'd lower the heel onto the spike. It would slowly penetrate. Then they'd shift weight back. The cycle continued for hours. The longest recorded piquet torture lasted 19 hours. By the end, the spike had gone completely through the heel and emerged from the top of the foot. The victim's other leg was permanently damaged from the strain. He never walked normally again. Interestingly, the Royal Navy later adopted modified versions of this for shipboard discipline. It gets worse. Method 14, tar and feathers, but not for humiliation, for pain. Hollywood shows tar and feathers as embarrassing. Real tar and feathers was agony. The tar was boiling. It would be poured over the naked body, causing third-degree burns immediately. The feathers stuck to the tar, creating an insulating layer that kept the heat against the skin. The tar would continue cooking flesh